Welcome to round 5 of the F3A Racekraft Euro Series tonight, live from the Redbull ring. Welcome aboard. You're on Race Stars TV with my name's Luke, and getting set for action. First of all, I want to wish well to Dave Roberts, not with me in the booth tonight, but coming out of hospital, mate. We wish you all the best, and hopefully you get the news you're after, and you're on the mend, mate. Benny Roberts was also, I don't think, racing with us tonight. So, or is he racing one-handed? I've just been told. He has also had a bit of misfortune this week. So, Benny, hopefully you're all right too. But let's take you straight down to the final pass at qualifying here for round 5 of this fantastic series. 3 minutes to go. Daniel Byrne at the moment on top for the Kittens Racing team, and there he is on your screen at this fantastic Austrian circuit, the Redbull ring tonight. Home of course, the Dutch Grand Prix, and what a fantastic place this is. Home of the Dutch Grand Prix. What planet am I on tonight? Can you tell I've worked 12 hours today? I am very tired. Whoa, this is not racing, this is qualifying. As Darren Fay there gets sideways. Once again, it's a Kitten 1-2. Make sure you jump into the chat tonight, get involved. We've got Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all live right now. And a big shout out to everyone that's subscribed to our new channel on YouTube as well, RSTVAU. We do have a brand new channel up there, and almost at 200 subscribers. So, which is very, very cool. Let's hope we hit that tonight. 197 subscribers. Who's going to be number 200? Let us know in the chat if it is you. Other than that, well, we've got a fantastic championship going on in the gold and also in the silver. We've seen such clean racing from this class, and as qualifying edges out, I'm not sure anyone's going to beat Daniel Burns' time here. It's about a tenth between the top two at the moment. At 1:24.922 is your top time. 3.5 tenths covers the top three, and Bazzali back in 4th place, certainly half a second off the pace, and not as close as we've seen in previous rounds. There's John Baldwin. Adam Simpson's out there as well, just finishing his final couple of laps. Lockie Taylor, crowd favourite out there in the Tim Tam Vegemite car. And John Lee, how cool is that new Racecraft simulations rig we showed at the start there? We might be able to show it a few more times throughout today's broadcast as well. It's pretty incredible. So well done to Johnny and the team over at Racecraft. Over in the West, they can ship their fantastic simulators all around Australia. So don't think you're going to miss out because you live on the east side. They will send you one in the mail. So big thanks to John once again for getting behind this fantastic series. Tonight's code word, by the way, if you want to enter this VRS competition, and the code word tonight is WIENER. So make sure you enter that competition, get yourself in the draw to win that $99 package from VRS. And a big thanks to Lovely Stickers once again giving us that 10% off code, F3A Lovely. Go and dress up your rig, make it look very, very special. And of course, Schots for getting on board too. We saw that ad at the start of the broadcast. Without those sponsors, this wouldn't be happening, so big thanks to them. Big hello to Rue and the team as well over in Race Control. We'll be chatting to them a bit later. We've got Lockie Capel in the safety car, and Ty Ratcliffe as always standing by to do his thing, which he does so well, and adjudicating on officiating race results is always important. So we're almost time to go down to the grid, and I'll take you and run you through the order very shortly. But Daniel Byrne has finished qualifying on top tonight with a 1:24.922. Next 6 competitors are in the pit lane, so that's going to be it for qualifying. Unless Julian George can do something right at the end here, but Daniel Byrne has put in a million of laps around here to get so good, and no one's going to beat that time in this qualifying session. Hello, Graham. Welcome aboard. Our first commenter tonight, Graham Ellis, over in the chat. So hello to you, sir, and hello to everyone else slowly joining us tonight. It's very quiet out there. I know I only just got home half an hour ago. I literally said to Rue, oh my God, I'm not sure I'm going to make it tonight. And I got here, quickly logged in, and we've just squeezed enough time into, well, I tell you, I'm having a nice whiskey and a little bit of dinner whilst broadcasting. I'll try not to chew and drink at the same time tonight, but I will be trying to just relax for a little bit here as we get set for a race. Long wait here to get to the grid. A couple of drivers just finishing up their laps now. Adam Simpson is one of them. He's just gone out of there and ejected, so in his second now we should be able to take you down to our grid for tonight's race. Let's go live here. F3A. Right, it's time to go to the grid here for round number 5 of this F3A Racecraft Simulators Euro Series. This is how they will line up for tonight's silver round. And Daniel Byrne does get pole position alongside him. Darren Fay rounds out your top 2. Marcus and Shaheen off the second row with Joe Terra and Robbie Griffiths your top 6. Julian George starts from 7th tonight with Scott Travis alongside him. Lockie Taylor out of 9. And Luke Hayden rounds out your top 10. Nathan Hart and Adam Simpson your top 12. Tonight's starting order as we go over the page. We can see on 13th place it is Sasha Goon and John Baldwin your top 14. And Bruce Barnes and Gavin Inns your top 16 as we go back to the second half of the field now. Brian Cooper will start from 17th with Pete Minute down there. Cassidis and Johansson your top 20. Then it's Smith. Jorgen Smith starting down there in 21st place. Ben Arthur alongside him. Lachlan and Johnson your top 24. And to the back of the order now as we see the final couple of rows of drivers. We've got Kevin Little in 25th, John Lee, then Lockie Capel's in the safety car. Wayne Shepherd's out there tonight with Lucas Burt, Nicholas Merrifield and Stevens, Glasspool, Clements and Gullo to round out your grid of drivers. So let's get set to go racing. Let's get rid of the music and turn up the cars for what will be a fantastic start. Always a ripper of a run down into turn 1 here. Keith's in the house as well. G'day Keith, good to see Keith and Graham here from the Roads to Rumble, chilling out in the chat on Facebook, and hello to those on YouTube. Who's going to be the first to comment on YouTube tonight? Who's already put in the code word WIENER for us and got themselves in the draw with a WIENER competition? I shouldn't say a WIENER competition, it's a competition for that fantastic VRS prize package. As we're still waiting for Daniel Byrne and Darren Fay to grid up at the top of your order. Top 2 still sitting in the sheds. I've heard whispers, and I've talked about this a few times, but the drivers like to hang back and wait as long as they can before making it to the grid. Whether it's to do with tyre temperature, someone has suggested maybe in iRacing the tyre temp drops whilst you're sitting on the grid. Has anyone got any truth behind that? I would like to know, because who knows, I've got no idea. A couple of drivers once again tonight giving us access to their web cameras, which is fantastic. Jorgen is being very good at doing that. We'll get him up on the screen in a sec. He gave me a little wave, but there he is now, looking relaxed and ready to go racing. Righto, our pole sitter now grids up for us. So we'll get set for him shortly. Daniel Byrne on the grid. We're still waiting on Darren Fay. It's a long hold here. We go to 3 minutes, so we've got about 15 seconds before the drivers must grid up. If they don't grid up in time, they miss out. And that's the last thing. After you put all that practice in, all that time, the last thing you want to do is miss out on a start. But the Kittens racing team, gee whiz, have excelled since coming into this series. And Daniel Byrne, 1-2 once again for the Daniel and Darren. Behind them, we've got the 505 Endurance and a couple of others. Good to see a Fishing Motorsports car, Robbie Griffiths, up there as well. Wait for the green light. Here we go at last. So time to go racing here from the Redbull ring. The revs rise, and we're about to get away for the start. And it's a good start at the front. They head down towards turn 1. Quick acceleration. And in the background, 3-4 wide as they fan out, trying to find their space, trying to make up some positions. Shaheen makes a ripper of a start, goes around the outside of Darren Fay, and now the big run down this straightaway towards turn 3. We go through the kink at 2 towards turn 3. Look at the lead that Burns already got over the field here. That's a ripper start by him. Hayden, I should say, up a position or 2 or 3. In fact, a great dive bomb down the inside by him to get himself up a couple of positions. And Brian Cooper also got up 3 positions into the top 14. So mega start at the front. Daniel Byrne has got himself a nice handy little break from his teammate, who's still battling here with Shaheen, who's come out of the blocks really hard, made up a position. Joe Terra also made up a position at the start. Both those drivers looking impressive in this opening lap, and Scotty Travis up 2 as well. They've got to settle in, they've got to be patient here, let the tyres come up to temp. It's so easy to be a little bit overzealous and throw these things off into the weeds. You can see Brian Cooper up 3 spots below us in the brightly coloured tanked SRT car, and he's currently ahead of John Baldwin, who lost a position off the start. Sasha Gruen in front of them. Baldwin just making a little bit of a move here, goes towards the inside, and Baldwin will slip down there, does he? It's a risky one. I don't think he's made it stick, so there you go. He was on board with the tanked car of Brian Cooper now, and stays in front of 130 from a standing start there for your race leader. Incredible getaway for him. He's done so well. Shaheen in the background as well. Mega early start, but hasn't been able to capitalise. Falls back to third now. Joe Terra may have gone around at turn 1. There's a spinner off in the grass there. So Terra has had a terror of a time. As we head into lap 2, we'll get used to the replay shortly. Have a look at what went wrong there. Did he get contact or did he just light up those cold rear tyres? Let's have a look. So here's a shot of Terra. Just keep an eye. I think he's going to do this by himself. Turns in aggressively, gets up on that curb, and that sausage curb takes him out of action there and puts it in the fence. So fortunately for Joe, that's going to be a long, long way coming back from there. As we head back live now, there's your race leader out in front. The gap now 0.7 of a second as he starts to streak away. And the perfect getaway, that's exactly what you want. You want to try and get a bit of a break on the rest of the field. Just trying to see this Jorgen, who we spoke about earlier. He's in a little battle here with Bruce Barnes. Let's jump on board with Jorgen, who's once again given us access to his web camera. There he is. And he's in a great slipstream. Look at that concentration. He backs out of the throttle. Thinks, oh, he's got a little bit wide there too. Look at the understeer he picked up mid-corner. Tucks it back in now. Look at the look on his face. He goes wide again. He'll be under all sorts of pressure from Ben Arthur now as well. So that momentum really hurting him, and I think he may have got a slowdown as well. He had to yield that position to Ben Arthur, and now it's just head down and try and get on with it. John Lee on your screen there for Racecraft Simulations. Behind them, there's that beautiful retro Williams livery there for Nicholas Merrifield. Loving it. What a throwback that is. And he's currently up 6 spots into 24th, so he didn't qualify so well. He's been leading his way back in the race. Let's go back to the front and give these top guys a little bit of airtime, because there's not a huge battle going on, but the top two, after that early burst from Shaheen, have just been able to break away slightly. You can see they've got the gap out to 1.4 seconds. First back to third at this stage, so very good job. And I do apologise, there's going to be a few gaps tonight while I cough my lungs up. I'm a bit unwell, a bit overworked I think at the moment, and I have to keep pausing the audio whilst I have a bit of a cough, so excuse the gaps there. Natalie Griffiths says, good luck, Rob Griffiths. And we'll have a bit of a Robbie action in a second. He's held 6th place, so Natalie, if you're tuning in to see Robbie, there he is. And I always encourage people to jump into the chat. We've got Tyron and Graham there as well, over in the chat on YouTube. Let's go Julian George, he says. So I always encourage people, if you want to see your friend or family member who's out there racing on the screen, make a bit of noise in the chat about their name. It's a great shot there of Robbie Griffiths. That fishy motorsport car doesn't look great. Nins off the track. I can see, oh, there's a couple of cars involved in this one, and that's down at the back end of the circuit after turn 3, I think. So they're trying to turn around, kicking up some dirt and dust, and quick flick spin there for Gavin Nins to try and get back in the right direction, but he's had an altercation with another driver, and Baldwin has just called that out. I might see if I can have a look at a replay on that. Here it is. So coming out of 3, just watch John Baldwin, middle of your screen. He gets up on the curb and he touches the grass there. That turns him right, bang, into unfortunately to Gavin Nins. And that's what's happened there. Gavin Nins tries to spin around quickly and get back into the race. But a simple, easy little incident, that one, and unfortunately it's cost 2 drivers a lot of forward momentum. Back with the race leaders, back live, and George is also dropping down the order too. That's Julian George is actually in the pit lane for the Think Red racing car, and oh no, he's not. Well, he's half in the pit lane. He's crashed on the entry to the pit lane. That's why he was dropping down a timing order. He's gone into the pits and made a meal of it. So unfortunately, Julian is going to drop backwards from there. Andrew Dyson says, I like to sing John Lee to the tune of Dolly Parton's Jolene. Oh my God, that's a good one. I wonder if I could do that without getting a copyright strike. you know, I'm one to attempt everything, and I'm one to have YouTube channels banned as well for attempting anything, which I think is annoying when it's all in good fun. Maybe we'll get that going later. We could get the John Lee sing along every time he's on stream. No KFC ads though. But Darren Fay out in front and stretching that lead out to 0.8 of a second. Now further back, Brian Cooper, Tanked SRT driver with the Jilt Race on Oz. Peter a minute just behind him. This is a good little three-way scrap. It's I think it's Brant Johnson. It is Brant Johnson just in front as well. You'll see them on the relative behind. You'll know they're closing in. It's a 35-minute race. So it's a quick little squirt, this one, compared to the 50-minute gold race we've got coming up a little bit later on. And a pass right now. We're seeing Peter get ahead of Brian Cooper under brakes. Should be job done. But how many times have I said that? Back on the outside, that Tanks SRT there of Brian Cooper just used all the racetrack and used that sausage curve as a little bit of a berm as well, and has managed to hold that position. So good racing. You saw where I was going with that, Andrew. I was trying to get the karaoke version up on YouTube, of course, and wanted to play me a KFC ad, so I had to quickly get rid of that. Daniel Burness just dropped back to second. I wonder if he's had a bit of a moment down there. Let's see if we can't pick up why he's just dropped back. But Fay's now up into the lead of the race, so they've changed positions, those two. And Darren Fay leading by over a second, which means Shaheen is now finally up onto the back of one of these kitten cars and might try and sneak through shortly. Let's jump on board with Shaheen. Get well, Dave Roberts, and we will see you next week from the FRG team. Nice little word coming through there. We know Dave's watching along and we love him, we miss him. I tell you what, I miss him. He's a massive asset to the call, and every time I go to take a breath and have a quick 2-second break, I miss his voice taking over and giving me a rest. So we miss you, mate. Hopefully you're back and hopefully you're on the mend as we see Kevin Little racing his way all over the back of Nicholas Merrifield. Having a look to the inside, there's a contact there. There was some contact. Kevin Little takes to the grass and will lose a lot of momentum there. Let's hear if he calls out to race control to have a little bit of a look at that one. It looked like a racing incident to me. Merrifield, who continues up the road, has got Lachlan in his grasp as well. I'm just seeing another driver going around and down the order. Marcus has spun it and will drop right back.
No drama, mate.
Further back, contest between Wayne Shepherd and Joe Terra. Oh, and that was wide in front. Was that Jorgen? It was. Jorgen Smith has gone very, very wide there in the Dubby Area 51 Sim Sports racing car. Now he's got a little three-way battle with Joe Terra and Wayne Shepherd as they race down towards the next braking zone at 4. And wow, a busy little sequence there, and almost contact again. Let's jump on board here with Jorgen. He's going to get the box seat looking at this. He's just got through on Wayne Shepherd. So Shepherd's had a good race all in all. He's up 7 positions. Michael Stevens does has a webcam tonight, but it's not showing anything. So Michael, we might need to look into that one. Once again, we've got the Area 51 guys as Jorgen's under big pressure here. The Area 51 guys have given us access to their cameras, and we'll try and get a little bit of a hello from them in a second. They're standing by. They've got some very good looking cameras there. Very good looking setup. So love the branding that they've put on there. And drivers, we've got Nick Buttrill up in the right hand corner. Some warm up happening as well. Meanwhile at the front, Darren Fay still leads. And John Lee's doing well, up 10 spots into the top 16 now. Having a lovely evening out in this F3 car at the Redbull ring. We'll be loving every minute of that. So looking very, very good. Now the driver giving us access is the Sangropa Sim Racing's Brant. He's on your screen right now and concentrating. He's got the green screen. very cool background as well. We love you, Luke. Dave goes, all right too. I love that message. Thanks, man. And he turns in. Look at the way he leans into the corner. Ooh, goes a little bit wide as well. Bit of a whoops there, and he looks pretty calm and collected, doesn't he? Very relaxed in the car, having a quick look up. Probably can see he's on the stream right now if he's watching that, but he's maybe looking at a bit of telemetry as well. And behind him, there you go. Maybe give us a wave if you're watching. He might be either talking to his teammate or watching the stream. I don't know. Good to have him on there tonight. And thanks for the access, man, to your webcam as well. It's good to see these drivers go on the extra mile, putting in the effort to help make the broadcast better and better. So thank you. Adam Simpson attacking Luke Hayden at the moment. Jump on board with him. So everything has just settled down slightly now. Just noticed that Dave Roberts is in the green room. I'll bring him over for a chat. Dave, are you with us, mate? I wasn't sure you were going to pop in. I just saw you sitting there in the green room. How are you, buddy?
G'day, Luke. How are you, mate?
I'm well, mate. And the important question is, how are you going?
Well, I was doing really good this morning. I was coming home sort of this afternoon or tomorrow, and I've had a temperature spike, and now they found a couple of things. It looks like I'm going to be here for at least another week.
Oh, that's
which
no
is
good.
just not what I wanted to hear at all. Anyway, I thought I'd pop in 5 minutes and sort of say hello.
Mate, it's great to hear from you, and we have missed you terribly. Not just me being selfish and missing you, helping me out and taking some relief off, but mate, your insight is something that a lot of people have mentioned how much they really love about the commentary now is your expertise. So, mate, get well. We need you back.
Yeah, no, I intend to get well. I was planning on being home tomorrow, but I'm not now.
And you've seen a couple of the messages. We're obviously putting a nice message out at the start of the broadcast to you across the race control channel.
That,
yeah,
and I'd love to be there with everybody, and I'll be back. But at the moment, it's I just got to take my time. It's a pretty big operation I've had, and doctors have been awesome. They're amazing. Amazing what they can do these days. So I'll be back.
Awesome.
Fitter and better than ever.
Awesome, mate. And look, have you been watching any of the racing tonight? It's a track that we all love, the Redbull Ring. It's a fast-flowing, aggressive track, especially in an F3 car. These guys are walking away with it at the front, though. Kittens Racing, haven't they been good since the start of this season?
Yeah, they've been fantastic, and they've been right at the front every time. They work beautifully as a team too. They seem to pace each other, and it's they are the epitome of a really good team, the way they work together.
And they're both pulling away. Rob Bowden just sent a message to miss you, Dave. And it's good to see a few messages coming through for Dave on the chat. And look, they're strong. And Shaheen put on a fight at the start of this race. He's now dropped way back. He's 3 seconds off the lead. Doesn't look like he can run at their race pace either. So I'm expecting to see these Kittens Racing guys, full time up in the gold server very soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next week too, Luke. I see iRacing today announced one of the new features on the game is an auto fuel, so that within iRacing you can auto fuel to the end.
Right. So okay.
I think we'll see from next week a bit more evenness in people taking a pit stop and making it to the end, and rather than having to run third-party apps and all that sort of, it can all be done within iRacing. So that'll be interesting to see.
I wonder why they've put that in. I mean, that to me is part of the strategy of iRacing, is having to work that sort of stuff out. Is it something that you can select on or off for a server, like it's almost
Yes,
like
you
an
can.
enhancement or whatever?
So. I think so.
Apologies.
But the main thing is that you can set it, and you can set it to be plus a lap or even or minus a lap, and then try and save fuel to make the finish or hope for a safety car. But it just allows you to do it within the game rather than have to run third-party app, which I think is quite good.
Oh, for sure. And it was always the worst thing I had as far as my iRacing was always trying to work out fuel on the fly, and I'd always overfuel, or I'd tick the wrong box and not fuel at all. So yeah, that's a good thing. And if this series uses it, you're right, it could see it more of a level playing field when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at it when it's released. I think it's released midnight tonight, along with the one that excites me a lot, and that's the little Formula Ford 1600, of course.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And Jerez as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Jerez circuit is
Jerez,
just fabulous with a really, really quick circuit.
Great MotoGP track, of course. And yeah, look, that'll be great. And the inclusion of Formula Ford, wow, that'll be incredible.
We're going to see a bit of a battle between the teammates here. They're closing up pretty close together, Clay and Byrne.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a strategic thing just to save some fuel. They did swap around. Daniel obviously was leading from the pole position, and we didn't see what happened. I think he may have had a slight error coming through turn one, and he dropped back behind Daniel, who was on pole position. It's always confusing, Darren and Daniel, but yeah, look, they are close together now, 0.8 of a second, and they've just walked away. The gap is now, it was 3.3 before to Shaheen, now it's nearly 3.8.
Interesting. I'm not sure how good my audio is, but we're in a hospital bed with AirPods in, an iPhone in my hand, and my iPad on the table.
We're hearing a little bit of delay, but mate, it's worth it to have you here.
Yeah, I won't stay for too long, but I thought I'd pop in and say thanks to everybody for good wishes, and I can't wait to get back.
Mate, rest up. We love you and we miss you. And yeah, look, a week or two, whenever it is that you do come back, we can't wait. We might have to have a party that night, a welcome back Dave party.
All right, cheers, Luke. I might leave you now.
Okay, mate, take care.
Thanks, mate.
Dave Roberts there from his hospital bed. We wish him all the best, and obviously a big operation, and we hope he's back on the mend soon. And we do, I'm not just saying that. He's a massive asset, a massive part of this series, and we definitely miss him greatly on the commentary, because I'm just a meathead. I just call what I see. He's got so much knowledge of real-world motor racing. He's a champion in his own right in the Australian Formula class, and just a wonderful asset to have in this series. So get well, mate. Get back to us. We miss you. Back to the racing, though. Nearly 20 minutes in, Darren Fay leads the race. 0.5 of a second. Dave was right. They're closing in. It was 0.8 before. Now it's 0.5. Here's Daniel mounting a little bit of a comeback here on his teammate. Let's jump on board and have a listen. So a little bit odd that he dropped back. I think with the slowdown there, he dropped back on the main straight. Gap now 2 seconds. He made a mistake coming through that final sector, as we see drivers start to pit now as well at the 20-minute mark of the race. So yeah, costly mistake. That's put him right off the 8 ball now and back. Almost in undercut range for Shaheen here, who's jumped into the pits. Shaheen drops back to P8. He's getting a nice little slipstream here off his teammate, which may end up bringing him back into this. So if Shaheen can close up onto the back of Brandt, and once the top two have their pit stop, he may find he leapfrogs into P2. And Daniel's little mistake there will be very, very costly. John Lee going wheel to wheel here with another Racecraft simulations car. So look, one thing, you don't want to hit your team boss, and you don't want to come together right there, as Lee, was it Lee running wide? No, it was Andrew running wide, and he goes off the circuit, comes back on, and John Lee goes off up the road. Says, see you later, alligator. The 33 of Johnny Lee out in front. How good is that new Racecraft rig look, by the way? We're going to flash it and show it throughout tonight's broadcast because it's a brand spanker. I think we're the first to be allowed to show the video, which is very cool. And yeah, throughout the night tonight, I'm going to show it off as much as possible. Pretty mega looking sim, yeah. Big thanks to Racecraft Simulations for sending us that new video as well. So 22, nearly 23 minutes in, we're coming to the final part of this race. Jorgen Smith's in a bit of a battle, way down in 21st place. These drivers have stopped for fuel. Gavin Nins in front has taken a stop. And Nins, you can see that he's got Jorgen and also Bruce Barnes just behind as well. Little trio battling the way here. Bruce dropped 7 spots tonight, so not ideal. As we see a bit of tyre smoke through turn 3, it's a common place to lock a tyre. There's your race leader, not too far behind Jorgen. So yet to stop those. Griffiths and Taylor come into the pits for their scheduled stop. Now just a one-stop strategy in this race. You'll see the drivers come in, take a little bit of fuel on board. Apparently they don't take tyres because there's not enough time to get heat and warmth back into the tyres, so you're actually better off just taking fuel on board. Hey Susie, and g'day Brewers74 as well. Says let's go tanked, get well Dave. And this is good. I'm looking forward to gold tonight. I mean, you're going to stick 40 drivers around this track. It's always going to be a fight. When you see the best of the best getting wheel to wheel around this circuit, especially down towards turn 3, we're going to see probably 3 or 4 wide on the opening lap. I can't wait to see how they come out the other side. As far as championship standing goes as well, we'll have a quick chat about that during the night tonight. And I can tell you that in the main game, as we see the leader now come into the pits, Benjamin Roberts still leading the championship on 560 points. He's 66 points clear of Jack Mara, and then Reese Magetz, who runs P3 in class, is a further 24 points behind Mara. So it's still tightish at the top. But if Roberts has a good performance tonight, and we've heard that he's injured in some sense as well, so Benny Roberts might be driving under a little bit of duress tonight. He will want to win, but whether or not he can, we'll have to find out. Bailey Evans as well, sitting P4 in the championship. He's also only 90 points off the lead of the championship, so still a long way to go. We're only at the halfway point of this series, and anyone could still take it out in the end. So, yeah, very good racing. Byrne here sits in the lead, and we just want to see, once Daniel Byrne comes in for his stop, where he's going to come out again. Funny enough, Darren Fayer, who took the stop, is 19 seconds behind, so his teammate was able to stop and come out in front of Brant Johnson, who's yet to stop in P3. The next driver is Shaheen, so it's going to be tight, you know. Like, I'm just looking at the times here. Shaheen is a couple of seconds behind Brant, but he's actually 6 seconds behind Fayer, so it should be a pretty comfortable stop here for Byrne to come back out at least in second spot. He comes into the pits now. I thought Shaheen may have been able to put a bit of an undercut move on here, but he hasn't been able to keep the lap pace up. In fact, his last lap time was a 126.6, so it's actually over a second off his best lap, so not ideal. I wonder if he took tyres, and that's just trying to get those tyres back up to race temperature. Here's Darren Fayer coming through the final corner while his teammate takes on fuel, and also Brant Johnson's just gone into the pits too. So the one we want to watch is this man, Shaheen, coming down the pit straight, whereas Fayer gets out in front of them all, and Daniel Byrne P2. So when all is said and done, the gap between those top three is still 5.8 seconds. So the Kittens Racing guys have, I think, probably taken less fuel. We'll have a quick look at the pit time, which gives us the stationary time in the pits. It was 4.8 for your race leader, 4.6 for Byrne, 5.1 for Shaheen. So a little bit longer, not as long as I expected with that gap that he's come out to. It's obviously not getting that car up to pace. It's only half a second difference in the pit stop. Stationary time. It's a very short fuel here at the Red Bull Ring. Under 5 seconds for most of those cars. But unfortunately, it has not got him close to a race lead position at all, or even challenging for the race lead. A couple of shout outs to some drivers that have made up good positions tonight, Brant Johnson being one of them. Up 16 spots into that top 8 now, so great drive. Another one is Nicholas Merrifield, who's up 19 into 11th, so also having a wonderful drive. All the drivers have now stopped for fuel, which is good as well. So both those drivers in particular up mega amounts of spots. Ben Arthur's another one that's made up 13 spots into the top 10. 9th place for the number 11 car. And then probably the last person I want to mention is back in 19th, Wayne Shepherd in the Haas livery. Looking very cool looking car. He's running 19th and up 9 positions as well. 9 for the Haas car. So good drive. Very, very good. So just under 7 to go here in this first race of the night. Still shout out, where are you all watching from tonight? We haven't done that for a while. I used to do that every broadcast, but give us a around the ground sort of what area of Australia or around the world you're watching from, and I'll do a couple of shout outs here. We got people overseas, we got people in Western Australia tonight tuning in. What about New South Welshmen, Queenslanders, anyone from the Northern Territory watching tonight? Do a couple of hellos, of course, as we see Peter Minute here in Steve Cassidas back in 14th place trading positions. Why do I feel like it's actually pronounced Minnow? Someone might correct me there. I've got a feeling I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. But Darren Fay crossing the line. What's happened to Lockie Taylor? He's off in the gravel, and that's in a fast rejoin location as well. He gets back on ahead of Brant Johnson, who just gets through now. So Lockie loses that position back to 8th, and that puts Brant now 17 spots up into the top 7. So wow, good run, isn't it? And we got no one shouting out where they're from, so I won't be able to do any shout outs, sadly. So hello to everyone watching from around Australia, watching from planet Mars or the moon or wherever you're tuning in from tonight. Hello. Hello. Don't forget, we got that VRS comp tonight as well. I'm going to have a quick squiz, see who's been signing up of not tonight. And we've got Christine, Chris Barnes, Christian Hermanson, Bailey, Jorgen Smith is also signed up tonight. Scotty Travis. Keep them coming, folks. It's a fantastic competition. If you haven't checked out VRS, go check them out. Even if you're not in the competition, or if you don't think you're going to win, go check it out, because if you're into iRacing, you want to get quicker. If you're not good at setting the car up, or just wanting to get some tips on how to drive faster, it's a one-stop shop to do just that. So VRS, go and check it out. They're a fantastic sponsor of the series as well, and worthy to go and support. I tell you what, they've been supporting this series, I think, since day dot. So it's great to have them back on again for season number 12. Can you believe? We're getting old, Root. Season 12 feels like only a couple of weeks ago that this all began. 657 nights later I've sat at this computer calling races. So it's been a busy couple of years, that's for sure. 3 years I think it's been now since we kicked off Race Stars TV. 3 or 4 years. 3 years. I think it's 3 full years. Who knows? It's all a blur. Kicked off in 2020, didn't we? So 2020, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, 3rd year right now. So 657 nights in 3 years. Whew. I'll drink to that. We've got Natalie from Hobart. Go fishy boy Robbie. So let's give Robbie some airtime as we see him up in 5th place, all the way from Hobart. Beautiful part of the world. I've been down there a couple of times. I absolutely love it. Hey, it's something about Hobart. It's not too small, not too big. Beautiful hilly environment. I went down to Port Arthur and spent a little bit of time there, and then wrapped back around to Hobart, spent a night or two there as well. And back in the day, we've flown in and out of there a couple of times for certain events. And it's a great little place. I remember staying at this hotel in Hobart. And no lie, it must have been -5 degrees, and there was not a heater in the hotel. The only thing that they had in this room was a hairdryer, and I actually slept the night with a hairdryer pumping hot air under my bed. Probably the biggest fire hazard you could ever do in a hotel, but it warmed me up. Had the hairdryer under the doona, and with the vent part poking out the side. Don't tell anyone that's into WHS and all that sort of stuff, because oh my god, that's a dangerous thing to even stay, isn't it? But I tell you what, it warmed me up, and there was absolutely nothing in this hotel which looked like a heater in the middle of Hobart. I can't remember what the place was called, but we survived with the help of a hairdryer. So hello to all our Hobart friends. We love you down in Tassie as we watch the final part of this race unfolding. We should get one more lap, possibly two. They're doing a 1:25 around here, so we might get actually 2 laps in. Darren's going to cross the line now. We haven't got a white flag showing, have we? A quick look at our... Nope. Our pit man is not even standing there yet, so we'll get 2 more laps in. Hopefully they're fueled accordingly, because that can sometimes trick you up. And it was interesting to hear Dave talk about that auto fuel function that iRacing is bringing in. Now, whether or not that calculation will be set, you know, when you've got a line ball, whether or not you got to do an extra lap, because we got a spinner there. That was, I thought that was a leader for a second, but it was a lap car going around. And what I'm saying is, they calculate their fuel based on a certain amount of laps. Now, with a time certain race like this one, if you cross the line at 34 minutes and say 52 seconds, you've got to do another lap. If you cross the line at, I think, 34 minutes and 59 seconds, it will probably throw the checker flag. So it is that bit of a grey area when you're trying to work out how much fuel to put in the car. If you put too much in the car, you're going to lose precious lap time. Put too little, you might just run out of fuel and your race is done. So it's a tricky little thing, and hopefully these drivers are all over it. So we'll just keep an eye as they come down in flying formation, these 2 Kitten racing cars, to come and cross the line. I don't think we'll get the checker flag this time around, do we? No, we don't. So we get 1 more lap, 15 seconds to go in the race. So 1 more lap will be required, and I'll tell you what, Daniel is starting to close in on his teammate here. Could we see a late charge and a late lunge from the teammates? That would be interesting. I could see some of the gold drivers warming up too over in their servo. We'll be heading straight over there post-race. Look how much of the ripple strip they use. Turns in nicely, got to squeeze the throttle here. Try not to initiate wheel spin. How late was he on the throttle? He must have been 50 metres off the apex before he could even squeeze the throttle. And it just goes to show how slippy and slidey these cars still are. Now we come through 4 and start to come down the hill. It's amazing how far it drops. The elevation changes. I think got a car off the track. Is it Lockie Taylor? May have gone off slightly there. And drop down the hill, then around this big Redbull statue in the middle of this circuit. We won't get a look at it from that angle, but just to left of screen there as we stay on the overhead. The lap car's getting out of the way nicely here as well, and doing a good job to help this race finish effectively without any interference. So coming through the final corners now, Darren Fay should take this race out. Very wide was his teammate, might get a slowdown for that. Where the checker flag will fly, and it will be a race win for the Kitten Racing Darren Fay, and they come and do a formation photo finish there across the line. Darren Fay wins. Daniel Byrne gets P2, and Shaheen gets P3. He's pretty happy with that. He's swerving his way down the track. P3. Scotty Travis comes home 4th for DS Racing. Robbie Griffiths for the Fishy Motorsports team, all the way from Tassie. We'll get P5, so great drive by him. Luke Hayden coming. Oh, is he out of fuel? Listen. He's out of fuel. And he loses the position there, does he? Brand Johnson, where's Brand Johnson in all this? He's not going to make it. So Hayden gets 6th. Taylor actually gets 7th ahead of Johnson, who also ran out of fuel. Arthur will come home in 9th place, and Merrifield rounds out your top 10. A few drivers there running out of fuel in the final couple of corners, can you believe? And, well, they cut it too fine. Someone who didn't cut it too fine is this guy, Darren Fayer. Takes the win tonight. We'll come back with a quick interview before we head across to the gold server in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Race results coming up on the screen right now for the overall championship round here for silver. It was Darren Fay with a win there by 1/10 of a second over Daniel Byrne, and Shaheen, the privateer, taking out 3rd place, 10 seconds off the pace. So hopefully we're going to have a chat in a second. I'm just having a quick look now, see if they're in the green room. We don't have them just yet, so we'll wait for him to quickly jump in. I do have a limited time before I've got to get to the next server. When I'm by myself tonight, I can't. When I've got Dave here, it's easy. Dave can do some talking while I go and sort out servers and all that sort of jazz. But tonight, I don't have that luxury. So we'll just wait a minute before we head across to gold. But great driver. A couple of standouts there too. Wayne Shepherd, 10 spots. Nicholas Merrifield, 20 spots up into the top 10. So mega drive by him, and Brand Johnson up 16. Ben Arthur made up 13 spots as well to be inside the top 10. So congratulations to those drivers in particular. It's a decent effort tonight. So we just wait. Still no one in the green room. They must be out there having a party still, are they? Well, here they come now. Darren Fay is joining us, and his teammate as well. Mate, congratulations. Great win tonight. Darren, it looked pretty simple out in front, all in all.
Yeah, look, it's an okay track for me. I get into gold and I'm absolutely terrible. I'm sort of in between gold and silver at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, mate, a little bit more practice, I reckon you'd be a constant golder, because you're blistered out there, and your teammate Daniel, you did very well as, right up there. Photo finish for the team, photo album as well. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you think, Daniel? Where was the difference in the race between yourself and Darren?
I reckon we were pretty closely matched. I didn't do any practice at all, so my qualifying was my practice, and I was lucky to put it on pole only because I had a bit of a tow from someone. But yeah, I had a slowdown at one point, which really dropped me off Darren, and then had a good pit, and then came out closer and was clawing him back a little bit near the end there, but yeah, it was just too fast.
Yeah, it was great racing, good to watch. So upwards, you'll be in gold next week. What's the plan? Just a bit of practice ahead of that track?
Yeah, 100%. Actually put in some practice this time, I think. Yeah, because it's a tough competition in gold, that's for sure.
Right, some quick... actually, we've got Shaheen is here as well. Mate, well done. P3 tonight. Just couldn't match the pace to the top two.
No, I suck. I only had like 8 minutes of prac last night in quali, and then today I had a really long day and just managed to get in before the quali started, so these guys are way too quick for me.
Well, some great racing. We'll go through the top three. I've got to head over to gold server, so quickly, Darren with a win tonight, who would you like to thank?
The missus, my daughter Harper, Kittens, driver 808, AML Tech, all looking after us.
Legend, mate. And Daniel, who would you like to thank P2?
I'd like to say hi to Bianca and my daughter Atari, and the same Kittens Racing, driver 808, AML Technology.
Great job tonight for our Kittens Racing. Meow, well done. And Shaheen, who would you like to thank P3?
I'd like to thank Jake Frangic, my father. He helped me through a lot of this, actually. So, yeah, thanks to Jake.
How does he help you, mate? Telemetry, all that sort of stuff?
He helped me get started, actually. He's the one that sort of like sat me down and go, you should try sim racing. And I was like, you know what, Jake? I'm going to do it.
That's mega. Well done, man. Well, thanks to our top three for coming in for a quick chat. I'm going to head over to Gold now and get that server set up. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you, guys.
Well, we'll be back with you shortly once we get into Gold. So don't go anywhere. You're here live on Racestars TV. Just about 2 minutes and we'll be back with Gold. Part 2, Round 5 of the F3A Racecraft Euro Series tonight. We're now ready for the Gold server and welcome aboard what should be a fantastic race tonight. 40 competitors lining up as they finish qualifying now. We've just got about 4 minutes to go. Phil Worley currently sitting on top for Sim Rigs. Behind him, Josh Banks putting a couple in the bank, ready for his attempt tonight. Jack Marrow, who's sitting well in the championship, P3 at the moment as well. Just waiting for a few of these liveries to load in. Reed Maget's also high in the championship, sits P4 in qualifying. And he'll need all those points and more because he's currently sitting, 90 points off the lead. So he's back there in P3 on 470 points behind Benjamin Roberts, leading in 560. So a bit of work to do. Rob Bowden as well. Hello, Rob. Currently P5 for Tanked SRT in tonight's qualifying. So let's head down to the track now. Up some noise from the cars. These F3 cars make a bit of noise around here. And my name's Luke, this is Racestars TV. If you're just tuning in for the Gold server, This is where we put 40 of the best open wheeler racers in the sim against each other in the world, because they are top class drivers here tonight. We're expecting no less than quality driving when they do get released. They release the hounds down towards turn 1. I'm just watching some of the times here. Roberts just goes P7 with that lap. Bailey Evans has gone 6, and Harrison Lillis is just behind. Good to see Alex Court there up in the top 10, 9th place as well. Alex sent me a message before saying he's on Discord, and they've got their web cameras up and ready. There they are. So good to see the Area 51 Sim Sports drivers taking this seriously and ready to attack this Red Bull Ring circuit. And here's Alex, who's at the moment just chilling out. And on your screen. So good luck to all the drivers. We have a quick look before. Damien Cairns in the house as always. He's done a few little modifications, I think, to his setup tonight. Where is Damien? He's having a look down the leaderboard there. He's down in 22nd place. So a little bit of work to do in this final part of quali. He's 6/10 off the pace. It's super close. 5/10 covering the top, just over the top 15 or so cars. It's only 3/10 between the top 9. So Cairns just locking a break there. The Type N Esports driver. You see he does some V8 supercar there. The Blacktown Mazda V8 supercar. There's the shuckers that we love. So he's watching, and great setup there. He's got telemetry above him and triple screen gear shifter for when he does the V8s, and obviously on the paddle shift tonight. He's got his bottle of water there. I'm sure there's no vodka in that bottle to his left there. And great setup. So thanks Damien and all the drivers that give us that access to web cameras to make the broadcast more exciting. Roberts goes P2 now. The champion with the number 1 on the car. And he's done a nice job to put it up there within 8/100ths of a second of Wally, who is on fire again tonight. In fact, so is Josh Banks, the Fast Lane Esports driver, sitting within 1/10 of a second as well of the race provisional pole sitter. And look at the top 5 covered by under 2/10 of a second. You can't ask for more than that. That is as close as you're going to see it in a qualifying session for sim racing. So the only word I got from Ben Roberts was may or may not have got home from 12 hours in the hospital. Let's see how this goes. So wow, not sure what's happened to Benny Roberts, but he's P2, and yeah, lots of people sending him well wishes as well. But yeah, not sure what's happened there to Benny, but he's out there fighting. And will he go to P1 with this? He's 8/100ths off the top time. Across the line now with a 24.8, doesn't improve. So stays P2 as the checker flag drops. Technically he can get one more lap in here. I'm not sure he will push for another lap on those tyres, but he does have the chance to try and finish one. I'm looking down the order to see if we got any purple sectors at all. Not really seeing too many. Nick Batril's just slowed that up. He's going to finish. Will Ryan for Pace Syndicate also just finishing the lap. He's on. Swanepoel, he's off the road, so he's not going to get a better time than that. 35th place for Ty. And Steve Fawn's currently 36th place for Sandgroper Sim Racing, also pulling it back into the pit lane. Jack Marrett, he's also aborted his lap. As you can see, he's on the right-hand side of the track, and I'm watching Roberts. I think he's also checked off, slowed the car down. So I think we're run and done for qualifying now. I don't think Roberts is going to improve, so sadly, that's it. And we just see Bailey Evans as Rob Bowden crossed the line. They didn't improve, stayed 7th. Bailey Evans, Bowden went up to 5. I do apologise. He did improve on that lap, so good job, Rob. A late steal there, jumps up a few spots into the top 5. And Evans, who we're just watching now, will come around to finish the lap he's on. And then Riso Gorman, once they're checked out and in the pits, we'll go down to the grid for a 3-minute count and a start to this 50-minute gold race here on a Tuesday night. Race Stars TV F3A Season 12, powered by FRG. Big thanks to VRS, Racecraft Simulations, Schots, of course, and lovely stickers, all our great sponsors that come on board. Looks like that's the end of quali. Run and done. We're going to go down to the grid any second now. So live from the Red Bull ring for round number 5 of the F3A Euro Series, thanks to Racekraft Simulations. And the starting grid for tonight's 50-minute gold race will be Phil Worley off pole position. Starting alongside him, Benjamin Roberts out of P2. Bailey Evans starts on the second row with Josh Banks accompanying Jack Mara out of 5. Rob Bowden starts out of 6 with Reese McGatz, Trevor Leonard, James Glasspool and Luke Fitt, your top 10. Paul Rogers from 11th tonight on the grid with Harrison Lillis alongside him. As we go to the second page of the grid, it's Alex Court starting with Josh Fitt alongside and Chris Ireland and Harry Lawrence start from 16th place. Rizzo Gorman down in 17th. Jesse Butler, Scotty Barjan and Gus Cirillo rounds out your top 20 tonight. Ben Brazier down in 21st with Will Ryan, Damien Cairns and Caleb Dawson rounding out that top 24. 25th on the grid, Chris Wiesel. Dave Gallo starts from 26th tonight with Nick Buttrell and Trent Gossley behind him on the order. And further down we've got Lee Hardy and Chris Barnes, followed by Tiago Macedo down in 31st place, Asher Henley out of 32nd, Kaylin Arthur, Dave Clements your top 34 with Swanepoel, and Steve Fawns rounding out the top 36th, 37th on the grid, right to the back here. Anthony Mazoka with Jacob Mabry 38th. We've got Marcus Kaniska, Lockie Capel in the safety car. Jared Steen will start from 40th on the grid. Huge field of cars. Wow, we're about to get underway. The pressure is on. The nerves will be rising, and well, they've got to go out and get it. That's the thing. You've got to have. Well, what's the correct term for it? You've got to have nerves of steel down into turn 1. I've been around mechanics all day. I was about to say something very, very inappropriate there. So you've got to have nerves of steel heading down to turn 1. Righto. Hopefully looking forward to this. We're just still waiting on Banks, Bowden, Glasspool, Lillis and Court to grid up here. Everyone else is in and ready. You can see a couple of drivers nervously waiting on the webcams. Christine Cairns in the house says, "Hey Luke, looking forward to tonight's race. Go Damien Cairns." And good luck Damien and everyone else. Gary Roberts says, "Great job Benny to go P2 with whatever unfortunate things happened to him today, to be 12 hours in hospital. Not ideal at all." Philip Worley getting ready to go. We're still waiting on Josh Banks. We've got about 30 seconds and they're using every second of this countdown here to get on the grid. Technically, you don't have to be there until 2 minutes and 59 seconds, but you do run the risk. I know in previous times we've had drivers that have had little technical errors and they don't find out till they hit that button to get on the grid, and by then it's too late. To me, you want to get on there probably with at least half a minute to settle the nerves, get ready for obviously the checkpoint on the bite point of the clutch and get set to go racing. Here we go, 3 minutes is run and done. Let's get set to go now. We should any second now get a start. The revs rise here from the Red Bull ring for the gold server and wait for the start. They all hold. It's a long hold and we get the green and we're off. Good start at the front. Great job Philip Worley, got away very, very well. Slow car in the mid pack. They've had to dive around that car and try and get through without contact, and Worley goes around the outside to hold on to the lead at the start of this race. Behind them someone went wide as they filtered their way down towards turn 2, the kink, and then look at Roberts already attacking, trying to find a way through on Worley. Worley's going to position himself to the inside. Roberts will try and go the long way around the outside. If he hangs it out there, he's just got a bit of a snap on the mid-corner, Roberts, and that'll hurt him. There's contact between Roberts and I think it was Jack Mara. There was definitely some contact back in the field there, and Roberts has dropped back to 4th with that little mistake. He got wide, and that mid-corner snap meant that he would run out over that sausage curb, and all of a sudden he finds himself going a little bit backwards from there. As we look further down the order, I think we've got a spinner further back. Asher Henley may have gone around, did he? No, just dropping positions. So we're all still facing the right way in this big field of cars, but out in front, Worley and Bailey Evans, the teammates, have made the perfect getaway and they are leading this race by around 0.3 of a second. So nice job out in front. Great shot as they come around onto this pit straight. Watch how committed they are. How wide do you want to go out there? Do you want to use all that track and more? You can so easily pick up a slowdown. Someone was wide. It may have been Paul Rogers. As now the teammates have a look at each other. Someone in, yeah, you can see in the background. Is that Rogers? I thought it may have been. No, it's not. It's Josh Fit. No, it's not. It's is it Luke Fit that had to hang out wide? No. Couldn't work out who it was. It was maybe Chris Island or even Alex Court. Had to get way out of the throttle there and pay that slowdown back to iRacing. So that's very costly as we see Jack Marra down the inside on Bowden, stopping very late there and takes the position away from Roberts as well. Good on the brakes there, Jack Marra. Now up into P4 as we look back from his car. Roberts all over him and a big train of cars behind. We're only 2 minutes into this 50-minute race and already the top three are just broken away slightly now as Marra defends from Roberts, Bowden in behind. Magetz, Leonard, Rogers. We've got Reese O'Gorman in a mega battle here between 3 or 4 cars. This is further back in the order, so Reese in the middle of your picture there. Trying to go to the inside here on Harris and Lillis, and that was close. And Jesse Butler in behind sees the door open. He might try and file his way through here. Here we go. Looks again. The door left open twice there by Reese O'Gorman. Butler doesn't want the invitation though. He stays back as we see Chris Wazell in behind in the Pulse Racing team car. Sits P18 for Century Batteries, and now the move is on down through this final corner. Oh, we got a spin on one of the Racecraft cars has gone around. A couple of cars have gone around in the foreground there. And who is that? Is that Damien Cairns? Maybe one of them. Cairns is falling down the order as well. So it is Damien Cairns off picture there, in a bit of trouble. And did he go into the pits? Definitely saw him tumbling down the timing screen there. Which is never ideal, especially at the start of a race like this. Coming unstuck, so we'll put the ticker across the top. If you're here to watch people outside of the top 20, sometimes they get a little bit left out, so we'll put it up the top there. You'll see your favourite drivers in order going across the screen. So, little recap here. Lap 3, only 4 minutes in. Awesome opening lap, says David Roberts. And it was a good opening lap. Pretty well behaved in the background here. Josh Banks starting to put a bit of a tune on to the back of Bailey Evans as well. Fastlane Esports driver attacking. Could get a run through. Look at that pace he's got. I wonder if Evans just seemed to be holding back slightly there. Definitely nowhere near full throttle. Those two drivers, and just conserving fuel, no doubt. They'll be counting on the odd safety car, I reckon, these guys to get them through tonight. If for nothing else, just to get a little bit of a rest. It's such a high intensity circuit, you don't get much chance, especially when you're fighting in these close quarter battles, to have a break. As Lawrence that was getting off the corner, and then behind Mabry, Gosley and Mazoka go 3 wide as well into the braking zone. Hold on, who's going to be latest of the late breakers? Jacob Mabry by a country mile. And Gosley in behind, who was slow off the turn there. It was actually, oh, we've got a car in the fence back there. Trying to pick up which car that is. That's someone in the wall. Is it Tiago? No, it's not Tiago. There's definitely a car stuck in the fence back there. I'm trying to pick up who it is. We'll get there eventually. Is it Damien Cairns? Oh, Damien Cairns is one of them. James Glasspool is the other one, and the safety car is out. So we've got a full course caution here, and it's for that car there, and also Damien Cairns, unfortunately, who's gone upside down. We'll try and get a replay on that. But unfortunately for James, that's going to be curtains on his race tonight. And there he is sitting sorry up against the fence. I want to know what happened to Cairns though, because he's had a
past the safety car.
Big moment there. So full course caution. Let's have a quick look at this replay now. We'll see what happens. So James was coming out of the pits at this point. I wonder if he's going to be unsighted here. Oh, he's had some sort of error there. That's a interesting one. Now, where's Damien Cairns come into this situation though? That's what I'm trying to work out. Cairns was already up on the fence. So I think that's happened at a completely different time. See if we can pick up Damien Cairns, as you can hear the wave rounds taking effect from race control. So this is Damien Cairns. Let's see what's happened to him. Turns in. There's already a bit of a smoke in the air, and oh, a couple of cars got together. He tried to avoid it, and that's what's happened. Big rollover for Cairns, puts him up on the fence, and sadly out of action. That's the end of his evening as well. So what a heartache for 3 or 4 drivers there getting together, and big crashes. So behind the safety car for a little moment here. Whilst we're doing that, let's have a quick look once again at this brand new cockpit, this brand new simulation from Racecraft. Here it is.
Safety cars coming in this lap.
Right, so we get back to racing into this lap. Safety car is coming in.
Car 2-1, please hold speed no more than 80.
Safety car gets out of there. We're going back to green shortly. Big train of cars. Just waiting to see
Now has control of the field.
when he jumps here. Root Questor, you can hear in the background there. And just calling the driver in front. Bailey Evans has control of the field. When he's ready to go, he will power out of here. He's leaving it to the last minute.
Green, green, green.
We'll be back to green, so pedal to the metal. Let's go racing. And you look at the big swerve. Trying to break the toe here from Josh Banks, Jack Mara. A couple of drivers did take their pit stop in that first safety car phase, so we'll see how that plays out later on, but good start there from Bailey Evans as he leads us away in this big field of cars. There's a car off in the background. I just saw,
Caution, corner one, caution,
you
caution.
can hear race control. We've got a few cars off there, and oh, there's 3 or 4 cars involved in that. There's more spun around, so they say safety cars breed safety cars. Well, we've just had 5 or 6 cars involved in that little dust up. Will we stay green?
Race control, car 22, limping to the pits.
You can hear some cars limping back. Part of the rules and regulations of this series is they have to let the race,
Car 18 limping to the pits.
they have to let race control know when they're limping to the pits. That's why you hear that call come across. Bailey Evans under attack here as Josh Banks gets through. Jack Mara as well around the outside. Good overtake. He's going to try and hang it out there. As Jack Mara might try the switchback here as well. He's pushing super hard. He's got Rob Bowden not far behind. There's Rob Bowden in his wing mirrors, and here he goes. Goes to the right hand side. Should get a nice run through the second to last corner. This might compromise him a little bit to Rob Bowden, who's right behind. There's Bowden. In his slipstream, they kick up some dirt through the final corner. Bowden will get a great slipstream now. And here we go, down towards turn 1. All right, so we're back, folks. Sorry about that little delay in commentary there. Had a, well, I'm always honest, aren't I? I had an alarm going off at work and had to quickly check we weren't getting broken into. That's part of the real world, isn't it? 24/7 having to work a real job. I love that you can escape for a little minute with these racing games or racing simulators. But yeah, real world never stops, unfortunately for me. So thanks for your patience there. There's some great racing going on between these top drivers. I was trying to capture it whilst I was on the phone to security, but wow. Full on at the front, as we expected to. The gap out in front, though, Banks is starting to pull away slightly. Rob Bowden, and behind him, Paul Rogers having a ripper of a race, up 6 spots. And Chris Island impressing again, up 9 into the top 6. And really forcing his hand in this opening part of the race. 30 minutes in, who was that just went straight on at the top corner there? I'm sure I saw someone just go straight ahead. Maybe not. But your race leader's just done, oh, someone is sideways in the background. So it's, the race leader did another fastest lap of the race, 1:25.2, which got eclipsed by Jesse Butler. So nice job there. They're getting quicker and quicker as the race goes on, and we've got a 10-second penalty there for James Glasspool causing an incident. Lap 2, another spinner there. That's Riso Gorman. The Snacker Changi car goes around as someone complains about brake checking. Unfortunately there's a bit of a shout out to race control to have a look. There's many a battle going on as once again at the front they're squabbling. Jack Mara behind Bailey Evans. Now the gap's now 3.1 to the lead, so Banks is loving the fact that these guys are locked in such a battle behind that it's taken all the pressure off the Fast Lane Esports driver. He can just check out and head on up the road. So happy days, he says, and he gets on with it. The 27 at the moment for Scotty. There he is on your screen. Oh, his camera's frozen as well, has it? The go is sometimes these cameras just freeze up. There we are. So currently sitting down there in 27th place and dropped 8 positions, but he's got still a long time to be able to fight back here. It's never over. In one of these races, we've seen the late safety cars, we've seen everything of late as the Trill continues his fight forward as well. And who's that dropping down the order? Dave Gallo has just gone around, an awkward little spin there. So he now comes back on in 29th place. So Banks still leads at the top of the order. Benny Roberts has taken a pit stop. That's why we see him back in 14th place. So he's decided to take that stop early. I wonder if he just wanted to get a little bit of clear air. There is Nick Bottrill running back in 35th now. So he's got a bit of work to do to try and get himself back up into a position where, he has taken 2 pit stops. So that's put him on the back foot for tonight's racing. I'm not sure why 2 pit stops so early in the race, but it's never an easy one when you've taken 2 stops at the 15-minute mark of a 50-minute race. P13, starter P13 is running P13. Alex Court, another of the 51 Sim Sports drivers, has got Benjamin Roberts closing in very quickly behind him right now. How long do you reckon it took him to put that rear wing puzzle together? That'd be a fun puzzle to do. Court doing a nice job at the moment as well, being caught by Benjamin Roberts. Caleb Dawson, another driver giving us access to the cameras, currently joining 27th place further down the field as well. Caleb got the I think that's the McLaren Fanatec wheel that he's got there by the looks of it, giving us the bird on that left on the left gear lever, 2 fingers on the right. There he goes, just shifting down a couple of gears. Caleb currently 27th, dropped it 3 positions in the race, and unfortunately you got to say the luck has not been with Cairns, has it? 39th place. A drive-through penalty for Kalen Arthur too, an unsafe re-entry. Kansas kept racing, which is a good thing. He hasn't given up tonight, even though he's running almost plumb last after that bad luck, that incident that saw him in the fence. But he is still pushing on here at the back of the order. So good job. Here's your race leader. Josh Banks, P1, Fast Lane Esports driver, 2.6. So the gap's come down slightly. So a quick look at the lap time chart here between the top two. And where's lap 11 when you need it? So he's being just caught up slightly here. It was telemetry says otherwise, but the last lap was definitely quicker by Jack Marrow. I know that because he did the fastest lap of anyone at 25.0. So he took only a little bit out of him, and for some reason our lap 11 Telem has not come through. 18 minutes gone now, and Bailey Evans still in a fight with Jack Marrow. Further back, Rob Bowden, who was really quick at the start, now settling in behind Chris Ireland, who's out of the top 5 made the most gains. Up 11 positions into 4th at the moment for Chris Ireland. So as you ride on board with Chris, further back, looking for some battles, Ty Swanepoel on the back of Chris Barnes for 18th and 19th position. Yet to stop these two. You can just see in the background, oh, out of shape. It's Ty Swanepoel almost threw it into the weeds there. He's now got a good slipstream and may sneak through here. Let's jump on board. You can see the power of the toe here at the Redbull ring. Will he go down the inside? He does. He attacks that apex. He gets his nose chopped. Got to get a good exit here. Look at the short shift and then just squeeze in the throttle. Harry Lawrence sitting behind him, and then Anthony Mazzoka, Caleb Dawson, Harrison Lillis, and then David Gallo sitting back in 24th place. Asher Henley 25th. Trent Gossley, related to Ryan Gossley, sitting in 26th, and then Jared Steen up 14 into the top 27 now in the 91 car. So Steenie on the charge through the field. He'll just be picking them off. He'll yet to stop, obviously, so he'll lose out a little bit when he does make his pit stop, but doing a nice job just to consistently pick a few drivers off here. So Jesse Butler in the pits as well for P11. Keep an eye on that pit stop time. We saw between 4 and 5 seconds was the average time in silver for a pit stop. Surely they need a little bit longer here with more fuel being taken on board for a 50-minute race. So the stoppage time for Butler will call out shortly. He's been in the pit lane for a bit, pumping the fuel in the car now, and we'll get a stationary time once he drops down off those air jacks and starts to head out. 28, 29, still rolling some fuel into the car is Jesse. Long pit stop, so seems way too long, this one. Let's have a look at the time when it does flash up on your screen. 4.8 for, I think that's for Jack Marrow, is it? He's done a 4.8 second stop. Butler's, I think, got some problems here. That's way too long in the pits. So we're almost a minute now in the pit lane. Jesse Butler drops off our timing screen there. So yeah, that's definitely out of the ordinary and drops him way to the back of the field. So a couple of these drivers probably wishing for another safety car at this stage. 21 minutes in, approaching half race distance. So the voice of Rue in the background there, dishing out the penalties, of course. In race control, as we're 22 minutes in now, a good little battle here between Josh Fit and Luke Fit. The brothers different teams, obviously, and Josh goes through in the simrigs.com car to pull a little bit of a gap now on his brother. Chris Wazell still sits in the top 10 just behind them, and he's now challenging as well. So looking good. Chris is fighting onto the back of the number 151 car. Big handlebar moustache there for Chris Wazell, looking very good. Be proud of that one, I reckon. Bit of Merv Hughes in that picture there. And this is Chris Wazell. Sorry, that's Ty Swanepoel now. Jump on board with him. So he's attacking the back here of Caleb Dawson. This is for P19, can you believe? Nice tight battle. He might have a run here. This is where it's hard. You can dive down the inside, but then that compromises the final corner. And if you run wide anywhere through here, you do get that slowdown and you pay for it all the way down the pit straight. Now, surely Caleb in front went close to a slowdown there. If you do get it, you're paying for it all the way along here. Otherwise, by the time you get to turn one, iRacing just starts piling on the seconds, and it takes forever to clear those penalties once they add up. Quick look over at the YouTube chat. Dave Roberts says 14th has pitted, spent the day in hospital. Yeah, David mentioning Benjamin Roberts right there, up into 11th now. So just having a look at some of the stats here. Philip Worley, who sat on pole position, is P6 and has stopped, so hit strategy up on the screen shortly. We'll tell the story. Telemetry very slow tonight. Let that rest for a moment. So just watching some of the times as they cross the line there. Josh Banks out in front by 2.3 seconds and screaming along beautifully. Rob Bowden as well continues to fight in this little pack between Chris Ireland, 4th, Bowden 5th, Worley sitting in 6th place just behind this battle pack. But let's stay with Bowden here. I think he's about to line something up. Now, as far as the pit stops go, the top 4 are yet to stop. Worley is in a beautiful position here to... Oh, Rob Bowden was out of shape. Worley's in a position here where he can relax a bit. He's got an 8.8 second deficit to the leader and a whole pit stop up his sleeve, so no point doing anything silly here. He's got this race pretty much in the bag as long as he can just drive sensibly and stay out of trouble to the end. So especially racing against these guys that haven't stopped, that don't have anything to lose, well, probably would hope that he doesn't get tangled with them. So just quickly too, I want to mention the sponsors as we do throughout the race. Lovely stickers, of course, giving us that lovely password you can use, F3A Lovely. Gets you 10% off their sticker collection, so if you haven't seen what that is, go check out Lovely Stickers. They do really cool wraps for your seat and for your sim rig and all sorts of great little goodies. So go check them out, use that code word, get yourself a discount, they'll ship out those stickers to you. And Dave Roberts has told us how good they are, so they're definitely good. We all trust his opinion, and I've seen pictures of his race rig and I'm very jealous. So go get yourself some of those lovely stickers. Big thanks to, of course, VRS2, giving us the competition for you to win $100 or $99 US package from VRS. All you got to do, and it's free to do every week. I'm not sure why everyone's not doing it every week. It's such a mega competition to be in. You just got to go put tonight's code word in, which is WIENER. And if you put WIENER in the code word, you go in the draw to win that competition. And at the end of the season, we do a spinny wheel and we pick out a winner, which is always good. And it's definitely a fantastic thing to have if you want to get faster with your racing. And then, of course, big thanks to Racecraft. We're showcasing their, we've got a spinner down there. I have another safety car here. We're showcasing their new sim rig, which will be released shortly tonight, which is fantastic. And Schots Emporium, thanks to them as well for getting on board and supporting the series. So we just wait now to hear if we're going to get a safety car. It looked like one of the Snackachangi cars. Was it Riso Gorman? No, he's still out there. Trying to pick which car went off the track.
44 to race control, my lap 19.
Copy 44. Catherine, if you're going to call it, say, mate. Still.
Asher Henley it is, so he's rolling, trying to get going again, I think, by the looks of it.
I managed to get unstuck, so
He's got it restarted and he's on his way, so
Call it out.
he's lucky to get away with that. We thought for a second he was going to be stationary, we'd have a safety car, but he's got that car on the move and will be able to continue to take part in the race, which is ideal as we look at Josh Banks still leading 1.9 seconds over this man, Jack Mara, who in the championship needs all these points and needs to get some results ahead of Benjamin Roberts. That is the key for him as far as championship goes, because Benjamin Roberts leads on 560 points. Jack Mara P2 in the championship on 494. So there's a 66-point deficit between Roberts, who currently is sitting in P10, and this man we're watching in P2. So this will help slim down that margin slightly and give Jack even more of a chance to take out the title and maybe one day run the number 1 on his car. At the moment he's running the number 3.
car 3-1 looking at that.
So that was Hanley limping to the pits. Rob Bowden, has he got an issue here? Bowden's slow. May have gone around and drops down to 9th. Now Roberts just behind him as well. So we're now 30 minutes in, half an hour in. You can just hear Rob Bowden is calling out race control to look at what happened there. So let's have a look ourselves. See if we can find, no, nothing's triggered on iRacing, so maybe he's just run wide there. We'll have a quick look at the Asher Hanley incident, see what happened to him in a second. Here it was. Is this going to be Asher Hanley or not? I think it's going to, here it goes. Oh man, it's laggy as tonight, the old software here, and he just got on the gas and spun it around. That's what happened to Asher, and that's where, I'm not sure how he got from there to being stuck back on the side of the racetrack. That might be a secondary spin that he's had there, Asher. So go back to live. 30 minutes and 22 seconds into the race. There's your race leader, Josh Banks. So 31 minutes gone. I'm just trying to work out who has not stopped yet. We've got the top 3 yet to pit in the race. They're probably hanging out now for another safety car. So Banks, Mara, Evans, who are quite gapped out, to be honest with you. There's a huge gap between Evans here and then Worley, who's effectively leading this race, because Philip, running a different strategy, has already stopped, got the pit stop out of the way, and without any incident, he's probably going to walk away with this win tonight. So once everyone else stops, he'll have a massive margin. The 3 behind Philip then, Reese, Josh and Luke, the 2 Fit brothers, also are yet to stop. And then we go to Benjamin Roberts, who You know, a second ago I was thinking, oh, he's not really in the race, is he? But he's only 15 seconds off the lead, and he has had his pit stop. So you're watching a guy here who's got the number 1 on the car for a reason. Yeah, he has the odd off night, but it is very rare, and you know, don't discount Roberts being there at the end. May not be on for a P1 tonight. He's about 6 seconds off the back of the other driver in the top 10 that has stopped. So, but definitely on for P2, judging by that pace that he's got as well. The last lap around for Ben Roberts was a 1:25.3. It was a 1:24.8 for the race leader though. So this goes to show the pace we've got up at the front. Trevor Leonard further back here racing against Trent Gosley. And Trent gets in front of the Racecraft cars, so MF Racing versus Racecraft Gold. And he goes back at him. They're having a good scrap. This is way down in 24th place, 23rd and 24th. I love it when you see scraps down the order. Still wheel to wheel. This is great. Leonard ends up just hanging back a bit through there and says, right, that's enough of that. I'll tuck back in behind for a lap or two and regain some energy to go again. But no, he hangs it in there. He goes to the inside at the second to last corner. That pushes Gosley very wide. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get a slowdown for that. He was super wide off the track. Gosley comes back on, stays out in front, no slowdown, continues on his merry way. So good racing down the order. But back with your race leader, we'll give him some airtime. Josh Banks has been driving beautifully, just ticking off the laps. I've been watching his lap times, a 1:24.9 last time around. Best lap time of a 1:24.88. So his last lap was within a tenth of his outright pace, which is incredible to show that, you know, even on lap 23, you can be spitting out those sorts of laps. And surely the top 3 will be due for a pit stop soon. With 35 or 34 minutes in, surely they're getting close to needing a fuel stop. So Endura014 on Twitch says if P1 can keep his cool, he has this win in the banks. Josh Banks, I get the joke. Nice. P4 is Worley. P4 driver is Worley of getting his podium. Oh, we got a comedian. Love it. Got any more? Got any more? That's very good. So hello to our Twitch friend who's commenting away there. But yeah, look, I don't think we've had races in the past where the drivers have been able to sneak through without a pit stop. I don't think we've had one caution tonight. I don't think we're going to get another caution. And if we don't, if this stays green to the end, all of these drivers that have not stopped will need to come into the pits. And looking back, it's a 1.7 second gap between Banks and Jack Mara. We'll see how it ends up. Jura014 says, I just do it professionally. I am a comedian. That's good. More jokes in. Keep them coming. I want to see how funny you really are. As Harry Lawrence chases down Chris Barnes. Some good gains there as well. Evans, surprisingly, Bailey Evans started P3, runs P3. Not really bothering the times with Jack Mara at the moment. Has dropped back a couple of seconds off that gap and doesn't look like he can close the margin at all. I wonder if he's also just trying to save fuel. Obviously, the more you can save now is going to pay dividends in the pit stop, which, you know, with 14 minutes to go in the race, can't be too far away, I would think. Good day, Mad Mike Plays. Nice to have you here as well. Hello, Twitch. Twitch in the house tonight. We've got another comment from Jura014, and this is regarding Alex Court in P8. He says, if the battle for P7 can't be settled on the racetrack, it'll have to go to court. Oh, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, and I'm enjoying these puns. I'm not sure the drivers will enjoy it when they watch it back, but very good, very good. So Jacob Mabry maybe trying to get higher here. There's Gus Cirillo behind him as well.
Car 6 limping.
21st and 20th place now. Who was that?
Copy, car 6.
We've got a car limping, and that doesn't mean that they've got crutches. That means they're making their way slowly back to the pit lane. Someone who's not making their way slowly back to the pit lane is this guy out in front. The gap's still 1.39 seconds. But just as I say that, Jack Mara, new fastest lap of the race, 124.5. The fuel load has come right down now, and he can see Joshy up in his sights. He's starting to reel him in. And I reckon with 12 to go at a pit stop required for this top 3, anything could happen.
This correction, it's more of a canter than a limp.
Clements says a canter, not a limp. So Dave Clements is the one who's got issues with the car. He's trying to sneak it home. Jump and roar with Jack. You see how much of the racetrack they use, the turn in, particularly down the hill. They use as much real estate as they can possibly get away with, these guys. They're professionals at doing just that, exploiting the limits of the game. And you can get out there in those danger zones, and if you get it wrong, you get a slow down. If you get it right, you might make up a couple of tenths of a second. And what does he do this time across the line? Does he improve again? Not that time. It was slower than the previous lap, but he's bringing the fight to Banks, and it may come down to who can get the clean in and out of the pit lane, because sometimes, sometimes it can come down to that. You know, someone who's confident can race in and jump on the anchors late, get down to that pit limit, and then once again, as soon as you're out of the pit lane, get on the power. Sometimes the car can feel different when you've loaded back up with fuel. If they take tyres, you've obviously got that problem with cold tyres, but as I've been told, I don't think anyone's going to take tyres tonight. But you can lose a second or two very, very easily in that pit lane if you're not aggressive, if you're not confident. And Jack here, within 1.2 now of Banks, needs to be all that and more. Hardy fighting here with Arthur, way down the order, but 29th and 30th place, getting it on. Good little race, and Rob Bowden, who's fighting his way back as the leader comes into the pit. So does Jack Mara. This is Bowden and Rogers down in 15th, 16th, and then Alex Court, who's still sitting in 17th place. So let's go with this pit stop, because I'm intrigued to see who can be first in and out of here. So Banks is in. Someone's on the someone's on and off the gear change there to try and sneak an advantage. So Banks comes in, is a quick stop, and back out in front of Mara. Bailey Evans fit come through. Here comes Roberts down the main straightaway. Roberts will sneak through, but you know what? He's not going to get out in front of Bailey Evans, and I thought he would have. I knew Wally was going to be P1. I thought Roberts may have snuck up into 2 here, but he's 10.1 off the leader, and I tell you who's close. Well, and it's not going to mean much because Reese's P2 hasn't stopped. So the realistic gap here between first and second is 6.1 seconds, because you take one out of the equation, that's Magetz, and he's still got to stop. Alex Court there crying out to race control. He's had something happen on that previous lap too. Feels a bit hardly done by. So only 9 minutes to go now. There's your gap between first and second, and like I said, the P2 man there, Reese Magetz, has yet to stop his car. Surely he doesn't think he can get to the end. Another 9 minutes on that opening tank of fuel. That was your race leader there, was it? Kicking up the dirt in front. Not shy of kicking up some dirt, and Reese comes into the pits now as expected. So there's Josh Banks, P2. And the gap down to 5.5 seconds now. So it is coming down. I wonder if Wally had quite a short pit stop there, and he might. Remember, he did stop earlier in the race. I wonder if he's possibly got it a little bit wrong, put not enough fuel in the car. Keep an eye on his lap times as it comes across the line, and you do see the lap time scroll out on the data there on the screen. That brings Alex Cord up into the top 10 now. So our top 10 stands at Worley leading, Banks, and then it's Mara, then Evans is P4. Benjamin Roberts up into 5th now.
Copy 39.
Then it's Harry Lawrence. Maurice McGetz comes back out in 7th ahead of Luke Fitt and Alex Court 9th. Paul Rogers sitting inside the top 10 has had a pretty decent drive. I thought we'd have a lot more closer racing tonight, I've got to be honest with you. It's a battle for 15th and 16th, but it's not the Red Bull ring I expected. Coming here with 40 of the best sim races. The racing's been decent, it's been cool, calm, collected, but we're not seeing that wheel-to-wheel battles between 3 or 4 cars, and I wonder if it's hard to follow around here. The aero wash maybe just adding a little bit to this, especially down the hill. This corner in particular feels very off camber when you turn in, even though it does bank up for a moment there. It washes away down the bottom. It's very easy to run wide and punish the tyres. So I wonder if these cars just aren't following as nicely as you would think as an armchair viewer like myself. Dyson says, would normally expect draft train battles. Yeah, I agree. At a circuit like this with a Formula car, you would normally think you'd have just a big train of cars all swapping positions lap after lap, but haven't had that tonight. 4.3 seconds between Worley and Banks. That's your gap for the lead. Probably one of the biggest gaps we've seen in a while in this class. He's saving fuel though, you could just hear that. Let's jump on board for a moment. Just listen, look at that, clutch in. All the way down the hill, and that gap's just come down by a second on this lap. He might be in fuel trouble here, Worley, just to add some excitement, because he's just done a 1:26.6 on that lap. That was nearly 2 seconds slower than Josh Banks, who did a 24.8. So are we about to see a little bit of an upset here for your race leader who stopped early? He's in, clutching again. You'll hear him. Oh, and a big swapper as he turned in, clutch in. It can be unsettling sometimes when you dip the clutch into the corner. It's quite often it's better to have the car all locked up with the diff engaged when you turn into the corner like that. But have a listen to the onboard. I've got a feeling he's doing a lot of fuel saving here. Watch the gap, 2.3 seconds coming through. You can just see Banks in the distance now, closing it in. But this last sector, have a listen to the exhaust. Oh, he's in the pits. Can you believe it? He's in the pits, the race leader, Philip Worley. I was wondering there for a second. I said he's not dipping the clutch that time, and he's out of fuel. He's going to have to come in for a late dash of fuel, and that is going to ruin his race. Had every opportunity to win that one and stopped early on, but has had to make a second stop for fuel. Maybe was gambling on the extra safety car or two, didn't get it, and with 4 minutes to go, he's going to come out probably 6th or 7th in this race. And a big drama, says Dylan O'Shea. Big dramas for your race leader, and that's put Jack Mara into this battle for the lead now. And just when I said there was no close battles at the front, we've got a gap between the top two of 300ths of a second. Can you believe 33 thousandths of a second between these two? They're going to go wheel to wheel. Let's jump on board with Mara. He's trying to find a way through. He's got to be patient here. Don't throw it away with only a couple of laps to go, Jack. He's got Josh Banks, who's been super quick in the fast lane esports car. The Scuderi DSR snacker chain car. Oh boy, try to say that after a 14-hour day. Up 3 spots in the race tonight, all over Josh Banks. And then Bailey Evans, a couple of seconds behind, should comfortably come home third. But this is where it's at. And look at that, Benjamin Roberts, P4, the reigning champion, has snuck back into it. Jack Mara would love a win though, as he comes onto the pit straight. I don't think he's having to save any fuel too. He's full gassed. With 3 minutes to go, we'll get another at least 2 laps, possibly 3 laps in. Oh, sideways through the corner as well. And we're in for a grandstand finish if these two keep it up. Further back as well, Harry Lawrence slips into the top 10 now. Just behind him is Chris Ireland, and in front of them, someone who's been quite an achiever tonight, I've got to say. And I'm a big fan of this bloke, Marcus Kaniska, who's sitting in 9th place. And he's up 30 positions in the race, so what a great drive. We haven't even seen him much. He's just been chipping away and up 30 into the top 10. Brilliant job, Marcus Kaniska. So after all that, Philip Worley comes back out in 6th place. Harry Lawrence, by the way, has made 2 stops as well in P9, so Philip shouldn't feel too upset about the fact he's had to have 2, but back with your race leaders. The gap now just opened up again, 0.5 of a second. Nakachangi car is just hanging back. We're going to come around here and we may get the white flag. We're at 1:29 to go right now. They're doing 1:24s. Lap car gets out of the way. We keep an eye out for the white flag. Will we get it? There it is. You can just see as they cross the line. There's our flagman way down there. So 1 lap to go here in this race, and Josh Banks, can he hang on half a second? The gap, the lap car trying to sneak a bit of a toe there as well off Jack Mara. Wishful thinking. And these guys are out of there, but Jack, will he throw the kitchen sink at this on the last lap? Will he try and just keep calm, know that he needs the points? He needs to finish P2 ahead of Benjamin Roberts for the championship. The gap, 66 points between first and second. This will claw it back slightly, put him on the right trajectory for his maiden championship here in F3A. Big thanks to the team at FRG putting this together. Once again, it's an incredible series. We love it. And this is why we keep coming back to do it. It's just fights like this, late drama. We've seen a late safety car. Now we see a late pit stop for someone who's out of fuel in a race. We've had it all this season for the Racecraft Euro Series. We keep bouncing to these wonderful European tracks. And, well, we've only got a couple of corners to go here for Josh Banks. Go to the ATM, withdraw your money. If you're going to put it on one bloke, it's Josh Banks. He's brought home the bacon tonight. He's brought home the cash. He takes a win in round 5 of the F3A Championship here, and that's a fantastic win too. Joshy Banks ahead of Jack Mara will be on the podium again, and Bailey Evans, your top 3. What a great race for those drivers, those competitors. Benjamin Roberts, after 12 hours in hospital today, comes home P4 for the reigning champion. Great driving. Philip Worley, you got a feel for him. He could have won this one tonight. Does a 24.5 towards the end. In fact, Benjamin Roberts, new fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Very Sebastian Vettel style. Goes P4, but Worley P5. What could have been. He'll be upset with himself, no doubt, for getting those fuel figures wrong. But you know, he also took a punt. He thought maybe, just maybe, I can get home on a short fuel strategy. Wasn't to be. We'll have some interviews shortly with the drivers, and we'll wrap it up here from Race Stars TV for round number 5 of the FRG powered F3A series. Live from the Redbull ring. Thanks to everyone that's made comments tonight too. It's been wonderful to have you on board. We just wait. We wait now for the results to come across from iRacing. When they send them through, we'll stick them up on the channel for you all to see. So good racing. Here's your race winner coming around to hopefully give us a good skid to finish off the evening. We love a good skid here at Race Stars TV. Don't forget, if you haven't already, jump over to YouTube, subscribe to our new channel, RSTV AU. So RSTV AU, go and subscribe to that channel. We are trying to hit the 200 subscribers tonight. I'm going to quickly sneak over and have a look, see where we're at. Have we hit 200 yet? Oh, we're close. 205. Thanks, folks. We've got another 8 subscribers tonight, so appreciate your support. hit that subscribe, ring that bell, and get behind our brand new channel on YouTube. And we appreciate every bit of that support as we go and look at the official results from iRacing. This is how it finished up tonight. Josh Banks crowned the winner by 0.3 of a second over Jack Mara and Bailey Evans. Your top three. Good to see three different teams in the top three tonight. Benny Roberts P4, and then it's Philip Worley, Reese McGuess down in 6th, Luke Fitt, Paul Rogers 8th, and then Harry Lawrence and Josh Fitt rounding out your top 10 as we flick through the rest of your drivers and wait for a couple of them to come in. Big thanks to Race Control tonight. Rue Coyster will come and have a chat shortly. Lockie Capel and Ty Ratcliffe, absolute legends over there in Race Control. Couldn't do it without them, so thank you to the guys. Righto, let's wait and see if who's going to be first. Josh Banks? I'll wait for someone to pop in. Good burnout here too. I think Joshy's too busy doing a skid to come and say g'day as he rips it up here from our grandstand cam. Nice to see. Like I always say, I think having a good skid is better than anything. So there's the Red Bull. It's good to be at this venue tonight. Who we got? Anyone? No one yet. So a pedal time here. Man, I got to get these guys quicker over to the broadcast room after their race. I think they're probably all having a quick cold shower. It's been a pretty ferocious 50 minutes. But well, Joshy Banks wins it, and Jack Mara will be shouting out for Snacky Changi and Bailey Evans. What a great job, P3. Make sure you've got that VRS competition done tonight too. And a quick shout out to a couple of the people that have, Gary Goodeve and Steve Cassidas, Christine and others that have signed up tonight to win that package from VRS. Fantastic. Get on it. Support the sponsors of the series. Keep it happening. Keep it going week after week. It's fantastic. Righto, we got Jack in here. So Jack's the first in the house. We'll just wait and see if Josh joins us quickly now. Otherwise, we'll go straight to Jack. P2 tonight, mate. Congratulations. How was your race?
Stressful. It was pretty chaotic as it does around here on cold tyres. It had a pretty cool battle with a few people, especially Bailey. It was pretty tight, pretty cost us a bit too much time, but I had great fun. And then nearly got Josh at the end. Got to set it a little bit harder, I think. But I'll take the championship points.
That's it, mate. And you needed that tonight too. It just closes that gap now to Roberts, and to finish ahead of him is very important for the championship.
It is, but he has a very good knack of having a bad race, but his bad race is a P4.
P4, yeah, he still comes back.
So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Bailey, well done, mate. P3 tonight on the podium. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, after a race like that, I think Jack had a bit more pace. It was really fun fighting, but yeah, I'd just let him go at the end.
No, it's good to watch, man, and congratulations. We haven't got our race winner in tonight, have we? He's not turned up yet, but we'll do some quick thank yous. Jack, who would you like to thank for P2 tonight?
You'll never believe it. It's Snacky Changi Chips.
Woohoo!
Keeping my 100-metre sprint time very low. Not very low, very high. I will never be at the Olympics because of the amount of sweet chili chips I've been eating. So, hey, that's awesome. Thanks to the DSR crew. Scotty T, Scotty Travis did a good job in the silver race. But yeah, and thanks to you guys too for putting on the show, as we like to say. It's great fun.
Thanks, mate. Absolute legend. Bailey, who would you like to thank for P3?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Luke. You do an awesome job putting on the broadcast. Rue and his team, just awesome league. I love racing in it. Big shout out to the DPR boys. They've been really helping me, and I think it's starting to pay off, but we'll keep pushing. And then I'll thank the DPR team sponsors, simrigs.com, Southwell Lift and Hoist, Ben Max Mechanical, Phoenix Spokers, and MP Designs.
It's definitely paying off, mate, because you're P3 on a podium with some very good competition in a group of probably the best open wheeler races we've got here in Australia and around the world. So congratulations. And now quickly, our race winner has joined us. Josh, mate, welcome to the broadcast booth and congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, never thought coming into this weekend that I'd get the win, but yeah, I feel like I've had this the start of the season. Never thought I'd come out with the win. Yeah, great battle with Jack there. Yeah,
great drive, mate. Yeah, fantastic job. Anyone you want to thank in particular? Any sponsors?
Yeah, Fastlane Esports, and other main sponsors, Allports Gaming, and all the other sponsors are on board. So big thanks to them. Big thanks to you guys for chucking this series. It's very, very well organised. So yeah, thanks for the host. And yeah, great race.
Good job. So your top 3 tonight: Josh Banks with the win, Jack Mara with P2, and Bailey Evans your top 3. Thanks, boys.
Sweet. Thank you, mate.
Cheers. Roo, throw it over to you, mate. We've missed Dave again tonight. We've had some nice shout-outs today from the chat and yourself, obviously, through Race Control. We wish him all the best, mate. He's not with us again tonight. Still in hospital, but obviously, hopefully we can cheer him up slightly with a couple of virtual love signals from us here at Racers TV and FRG.
Absolutely, he is going out of his mind, I think. I'm sure he's bored, you know what, and he's got hospital food to deal with, and I'm sure just this night has cheered him up a bit. He dropped in a little bit for a chat.
Yeah.
And it was good to hear his voice and good to hear him up and around.
Yeah, it's great to hear him, mate. Now, good race tonight. This is a great circuit. Not as close as I thought it would be. We talked about maybe big DRS trains, not DRS trains, but, you know, drafting trains. Didn't happen tonight, but right at the end there, we had that little bit of unlucky situation for Philip Worley having to take a late pit stop. He looked like he had the race in the bag.
Yeah, there's a few people that are managing their incident counts and their fuel. I think a lot of people might have been banking on another safety car or two, which just didn't happen.
We didn't get it, mate. Big thanks to our sponsors. Great new video too from Racecraft Simulations tonight showing their new rig.
Oh, it's mad. I think there's 2 more to come. I think they're just releasing a few as they go, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger, so watch out for that one.
Looking forward to it. And also, we've given a heap of plugs tonight to VRS competition. Tonight's code WIENER.
Yes,
I hope you're not having a shot at me about wiener. calling me a wiener.
We will have a wiener at the end of the end of the series. I couldn't help myself. But yeah,
a wiener or a winner?
The winner can have a wiener and celebrate.
Hot dogs all round.
Yep. So get that one in because you just have to type a word and you might win something.
How easy is that, man? And big thanks to Schots as well for continuing their support and lovely stickers. So thanks to the sponsors, and Ruth, big thanks to you, Ty, and everyone over there, Lockie as well. Yeah, Lockie. Oh man, I'm having a blank. Lockie. I always forget the names at this time of night. We're after 10 o'clock, of course. So, but mate, awesome. Where are we off to next week?
Knock Hill, first time we've run it. Don't know if it's going to be a crash fest.
I love it.
It's a great little track. I'm slightly apprehensive to how it's going to run, but I have faith. Actually, bugger it. I have faith in everyone. They're just getting better and better every week. So
I'm sure we did an F5000 race there, and it was awesome. It was either that or Sports Sedans, but it was mega.
Yeah, I reckon Lachlan might get a few goes in the car that night.
Yeah, very good. Right, well, thanks again for all your hard work, man. I know it's countless hours of your love and time to get this series up and running with everyone else, so thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's all worth it, so yeah, great.
Sweet. Right, well, we'll see you next Tuesday, and we'll be here same place, same time with FRG's F3A Season 12. Thanks to Racecraft Simulations. Thanks, Roo.
Thanks, Matty.
Cheers. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks, everyone that's tuned in and been part of this broadcast. Obviously, you are a big part of it if you're watching and you're, chatting away. That makes it mega for us, so thank you. But let's take nothing away from Josh Banks tonight, who took a fantastic win ahead of Jack Mara and Bailey Evans to round out this great performance. So until next time, I'm Luke. This is Racers TV. Good night.